Hello, Spirit Warriors. I'm excited here today. I'm at New Life Community Church. I'm here with our executive pastor, Pastor Gary Willett, who's also the co-founder and director of New Life Global Ministries. And that's what we're going to be discussing here today. So, Pastor Gary, why don't you talk a little bit about that ministry?
Well, I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to be with you, Ken. New Life Global Ministries actually started on June 1st of 2015. Myself and the other co-founder, Rick Ware, we had been working together for several years with another organization, helping individuals go to places around the world to share the gospel with others and to try to help make disciples and church planting. And through various circumstances, God allowed us to birth something here with a very specific intention of helping more and more people get on the mission field.
Okay, that's great. Now, why don't you talk a little bit about if people are interested, or what do they do to actually sign up if they want to go to one of the missions trips?
Okay, well, our mission trips, or we like to call them journeys because we believe it's more than just a week or however long it is. There's the before and after. We do journeys here locally in our community. We call that the here. We go throughout our country to different places. Right now we have work specifically in the Appalachia region, and we also go to different countries around the world. The way that you can be a part of that is you go to our website, gonlgm.org, and you can see a listing of different journeys that are currently in the works. There's an application there that you fill out, and then we start the process of talking to you about where you are in life and how you're thinking God wants you to do something further as far as being His follower.
That sounds great. Now, when a person actually fills out the application, they sign it, you review it, you talk to the individual. Mm-hmm. What is the next step after that?
Once you are confident that God has called you to a specific task, whether it's where you live in your community and you're wanting to do some mission work, or you want to join us in one of the journeys that we have in place, once you know that that's the process that you're supposed to take, we will help you by doing three things. We'll provide a lot of encouragement to you. We will do some equipping, give you some very specific training to help you, and then we will allow you to be empowered actually to do it by going with you and putting some things into practice that can help you be a disciple that makes more disciples wherever it is that you're serving.
Okay, my understanding is that you have training for the individuals. Mm-hmm. Out here we have some Spirit Warriors, and we might have some people who are not local to Inwood, West Virginia, that might decide and says, wait, I always wanted to go on a missions trip. This sounds great, a great opportunity for me. Okay. But since I'm not in the local area, how can I get this training that I might requisite before I go into one of the journeys?
Great question, Ken. The way we do the training is we use technology, just like we have here, and we will Google Hangout you into our training sessions. We do training sessions typically where we can have a good whiteboard, so we can put a lot of things up there on the whiteboard, and then also to interact with people and immediately do some stuff. So we'll bring you into the conversation or the training via the internet. We also will have where we do some personal things with you, either by phone or by the computer, and we'll make sure that you are thoroughly equipped just like those that are locally here are part of the process.
That's excellent. So those out there are watching this, you don't have to be local. If God is calling you and leading you to go on one of these journeys with Pastor Gary and his team, you actually can go into the website. I'm going to have the link underneath there where you can fill out an application, get more information, and we're going to have the website because you do have several journeys.
Yep.
Now it's interesting there because your journeys is some of them could be local and some of them could be overseas. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Okay. What we do locally is that we have people going out 2 to 3 times a week doing prayer walks and gospeling and engaging people. And as people respond, we then come and do discipleship with them and help them become healthy Christians. We'll do the same thing for where you are. If you want to do a push in your community, we'll come and help you with that process of training. Going beyond that, we do a lot of work in Gary, West Virginia. It's the 3rd greatest poverty-stricken county in all the nation right now. Pleased to work with a guy named Jack Foltz in School for Life. We'd love to have you come be a part of that. We do things as short as 3 days worth of work, up to 10 days worth of work, and we do it various times during the year. Internationally, right now we have work happening in Bolivia, Honduras, El Salvador. We are in Cape Verde. We will be in Ireland sometime soon. We do a little bit of work in the Middle East now, and we should be sometime in 2019 in Southeast Asia and a few different countries. So we'd love to have you come and be a part of fulfilling the Great Commission in our lifetime.
Well, that's excellent. And I know there's a lot of viewers. Some people have talked to me and they talked about Ireland. That's going to be a big interest, and I'm sure that's going to get filled up very quickly when that's out there. The other thing people might be thinking about are costs. Obviously, if it's local in Gary, West Virginia, the cost is going to be less as opposed to overseas, whether it's in Bolivia or Africa.
Right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Some people have concerns about costs and maybe how they could raise some money.
Okay, great question, Ken. Many times people say, I really want to do this mission trip. I really want to go outside of the country and help other people hear about the gospel, but I don't have the money. Guess what? None of us have the money. But if that's the reason for us not to go, that should not be a reason. God made this promise to us. If we will follow Him, He will make us fishers of men. So when we follow, it means we trust Him completely. And this I can promise you. I've been a part of mission work now since 1990. So for 27 years, probably have been a part of about 50 plus mission trips. I've never seen someone not be able to go because of finances if they trust God. We have a very specific process to help you come up with those funds. We will teach you how to develop ministry partners. We don't do fundraising, we develop ministry partners because these are people who are joining you in the work, and they're as much as part of what you're doing on the field because they're helping you financially and they're your prayer partners. So we have a very specific way that we can help you do that. And again, I've never had someone not go, Ken, because of money, if they'll simply say, I know God wants me to do this, and then follow the process that we'll teach you.
Well, that's excellent. So Jehovah Jireh, God will provide.
Yes.
Now that actually leads me to another question, which is, let's say some individuals, they want to get involved with New Life Global Ministries, but they don't really feel the calling to go. Is there any other way that they could help out or be part of the team?
Another great question, Ken. There are multiple ways. We are always looking for prayer partners. We are blessed right now that we have more and more people going out from New Life Global Ministries, and we also are experiencing a lot more warfare than we ever have, at least we're aware of. We need people who will stand in the gap and pray for us. So we have a pray team. We also have a support team, and the support team does this. They help us with just behind-the-scenes stuff, putting together flyers, putting together packets for the teams that are going out to different places, helping us, like for Gary, West Virginia, we take a lot of clothing and furniture, so helping us gather those things and even store them and ship them down there, take them down there. That's a way that you can do. And I'm not going to be too bashful to say this. It costs us resources to do what we do. So we are always looking for ministry partners for the ministry itself to help us continue to go and make disciples of the nations.
So there you have it. As far as people getting involved, there's many different ways that you can get involved, whether you go on one of these journeys, get involved in prayer, get involved in supporting financially. Now, Pastor Gary, so you mentioned that it's been, 20 years plus?
27 years since I first started the process.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in 27 years, is there a journey that you could recollect that maybe anything that you recollect is something that stands out to you as far as one of your journeys that you want to share with everyone?
They all are very unique in themselves, and they all have special moments to them. But probably what I would say are some of the things that stick out the most in all the journeys is when you step out in faith and you go to a place that you really don't know the language, you don't know the culture as well as you'd like to, you find yourselves being completely worthless, you don't know how to do this. It puts you in a place where you're going to have to trust God. And I've seen this time and time again. When you get in a place where you're fully depending upon Him, He shows up big time. And that's the thing that I love about doing these journeys with people. It lets people experience God in a way that maybe they never have before. And in so doing, they're never the same again. We like to say, Ken, that it's not really the week that's the sole focus. Although we are trying to go make disciples, and we're helping local believers, pastors, where we're working in their work, we believe people come back changed. And when they're changed, they're never going to be the same again. And they're going to continue that process of being disciples, making more disciples. So for me, all of those journeys, they kind of culminate that it just helps us to continue to grow in our relationship with Christ and actually be what He's called us to be, disciples that go make disciples of all the nations.
Wow, that sounds really good. Now, the other thing you mentioned as far as the language barrier, possibly, like, for example, you take a lot of trips to Bolivia and they speak Spanish. So what about people that don't speak the language there? Can you talk a little bit about that?
No problemo. We do not require people to know the language.
Okay.
What we do is we will have translators that are already prepared when we get on the ground, that we've already vetted and worked with the local believers there, the pastors. So you'll have someone to help you with the translation. If you want to learn the language, that's wonderful. It's an advantage. But the more that we go to different countries that speak Spanish and Portuguese and French and then different dialects, the more we're not able to know all those languages. So no problemo. You can go.
Well, there you have it, everybody. New Life Global Ministries. I'm going to have the link there in the bottom where you could go there and read more information on their website and apply for one of these journeys. Make sure to hit the like button. Make any comments that you want regarding this YouTube channel, Spirit-Filled Warriors. Is there anything in closing, Pastor Gary, that you want to say here?
Yeah. Thank you for viewing this. And let me really put the plea out to you and the challenge. What are you waiting for? The harvest is ripe. The Lord of the harvest is saying the only problem that we have is that there's not workers. Will you answer the prayer, the cry, come and be a worker in the field? I promise if you do, you'll never be the same again. And I hope that you'll consider doing a journey with us as part of New Life Global Ministries.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Pastor Gary,
you.
for your
God bless
time.
you.
All right. God bless everybody.